next week, October 6th, is my 37th big anniversary and my 58th birthday. And a lot of you know Brooke. Well, Brooke told me that meat was a dead animal when I was 12, and I never ate meat again. That was 46 years ago. He was trying to get my meal portion, but I was like appalled. I was this sweet, innocent child that said, "What? You eat dead animals?" I was like, and of course I never did again. That's my little story. And I've grown and become more and more vegan, and a lot of organizations tell you just to do the best you can and blah, 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 but I think we should take it to the fullest capacity that we can. Be as vegan as you can and make a stand and help get more people to vegan so we can reach that tipping point and change the world for the better. So today, my little speech is called The ABCs of Veganism. And I'll do like one word for every letter of the alphabet to give you like an idea of what veganism really is, because believe it or not, social media doesn't really tell you. A lot of people really don't know. They think it's a diet for your health, blah, 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 blah. So A, veganism is all about animal rights and anti-speciesism. And when I say animal rights, I'm not talking about the right to a bigger cage or the right to be treated nicer on your way to slaughter. I'm talking about fundamental rights of anyone sentient. And sentience is consciousness, feeling. And animals, just like humans, and humans are animals, we're all part of the animal kingdom, all animals are sentient. They have pain receptors, so they deserve fundamental rights, just like we do. And anti-speciesism, well, like racism, is being prejudiced about irrelevant criterion, the color of skin, when that doesn't matter at all about something. It's a prejudice based on irrelevant criterion. So people generally say animals are lower than us and we can torture and kill them for that reason, but it shouldn't be based on species. It should be based on the fact that they're feeling and conscious, so that they can suffer, and that we don't have to harm them. We can live just fine. As a vegan, I'm living proof. So it's irrelevant criterion to torture and kill somebody because of their species. So veganism is intertwined or married to anti-speciesism and animal rights. B is for boycott. Veganism is a boycott of animal products. It's economic activism. It's pulling your demand and saying, I don't want you to harm animals and abuse animals in my name. So it's a boycott of products that are derived from animal exploitation. Veganism is a C, consistent, comprehensive, cruelty-free ethic. It's consistent in that if it's wrong to harm animals for food, then it's also wrong to harm animals to wear leather shoes, have leather on your couch, have toiletries that are made from testing on animals and animal products in them. Veganism is not just a diet. It's a consistent ethic that means that if it's wrong to harm animals for food, it's wrong to harm animals for entertainment, exploitation, the whole 9 yards. And it's comprehensive. It includes all species of animals and all ways that we harm them. It's just not about farmed animals. It also includes animals in laboratories, animals in forests that are hunted. So it's actually not really a necessity for all the single issue campaigns everywhere, because veganism, just go out and teach veganism. It covers all animals and all ways that humans harm them. Veganism, D, diet. It's not a diet. A lot of people think veganism is a diet, but it's not synonymous with a plant-based diet. Somebody could eat a plant-based diet because for aesthetic reasons, they think it's gross to eat a dead corpse. Somebody could eat a plant-based diet to combat global warming, to combat environmental devastation. But veganism is always about not exploiting animals. It's not a diet. The diet is part of it. But E is for ethical position. Veganism is an ethical position. It's a way of life, a philosophy, an ethical code. It extends beyond diet. F is for farmed animals and sanctuaries and what they reveal. I know I've lived with animals that people eat, pigs and goats that they milk, and these animals are no different than a dog or a cat, essentially. All animals are the same. So farmed animals show us, like a pig will love to get a tummy rub, and you see online all this video footage of cows being petted by their caregivers in sanctuaries. It's the way people look at animals. They want to make them lesser than so that they can harm them and eat them and not change. But these animals reveal that they're no different than our dogs. So if you don't think it's right to abuse dogs, then you shouldn't be abusing cows and pigs and chickens and ducks and roosters and whoever. So G is for golden rule. I'm a golden rule gal. Not really that religious, but I totally believe, I'm not religious at all, but I believe in the golden rule wholeheartedly. And veganism is the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It doesn't say do unto other humans only, and humans that you like, or humans that are the same color than you, or it's do unto others as you would have them do unto you, and that means all others, humans and non-humans. Veganism is all about harmlessness. It's a way of actually practicing harmlessness. It's a way to practice harming less. So naturally, of course, you're harming the animals less. Although nobody, not even a very staunch vegan, can get away with being absolutely perfect in this world the way it is. I mean, I have killed insects, I drive, I might have hurt an animal, but vegans try to we don't want to, we try hard not to hurt animals. We try to harm less, and we're harming our bodies less, and we're harming the environment less. It's a practice of harming less. And I is for injustice. When we live vegan, it's a response to the injustice of animal use and animal exploitation. It's not just. In the old days, thousands of years ago, millions of years ago, they might have had an excuse. But nowadays, there's no excuse. You can walk down different aisles in the grocery store, educate yourself, you have an internet. It's quite easy. It's a little hard in the beginning. You have to relearn some new things, but if you think it's unjust to torture and kill animals unnecessarily, then veganism is the response that you have to take to that. And the more of us that stand up and make a stand, we'll be able to get to that place we want to get and have a great world. J is for justice for all. You hear that, justice for all. It's on money. You hear it a lot. But veganism is the practice of justice for all. And it's about equal rights for anybody, any human, any non-human, anybody who's sentient, anybody who can feel, who has consciousness, who wants to live and doesn't want to die. It's equal rights for all those beings, not to be violently assaulted by humans who don't need to. I mean, a lion in the wild certainly has an excuse. They don't have grocery stores and Whole Foods and health food stores, but humans don't really have an excuse that's reasonable. K is for knowing. There's lots of things, anything you want to look up on the internet, you can find pro and con on the very same subject. There's very few things that we can really know in this world to really be true. Veganism is one of those things that we can really know in our heart of hearts, in our soul, in the height of our being. We know that this is right. This is the right thing to do. This is the right way to live. So you're walking with this knowing every step of the way, and it makes you feel great. L is for loving animals, love animals. You always hear people say, I love animals, but then they go and they cut their throat or pay someone to cut their throat, and I say, ooh, I wish they didn't love me. Is that love? I think what they love is they love dogs, they love their pets, but you don't have to love anyone to not harm them. Like, I don't love my next door neighbor. I don't love a lot of people, and I don't love a lot of animals, but I don't harm them. I don't hurt them. I'm not vicious, violent to them. So you don't really have to love animals to not harm them and to be a vegan, but vegans are the only ones that could really say they love animals. M is for makes sense. Veganism just makes sense to me. If we can live without harming other animals and abusing animals, then it just makes sense not to. N is for nonviolence. When I first learned about veganism from Jay Dinshaw, the founder of the American Vegan Society, he had just brought it over from the UK, where it was initiated, and the name of the magazine at that time was called Ahimsa, which is a Sanskrit word for nonviolence. I think beside animal rights, the most prevalent word that's married to veganism is nonviolence. Most vegans, not all, most vegans believe in nonviolence. And even to the point, a lot of them are like pacifists, anti-war, and not violent to humans either, because humans are animals. That's my philosophy. Humans are animals. I'm non-violent to everyone. O is for the objection to oppression and objectification of others. So I am totally opposed to turning a someone into a something so that I can exploit them and exploit their reproductive system and steal their babies from them and have somebody stick his arm up the anus of a cow to artificially inseminate her and keep using her over and over and then kill her to eat her when she's done. And, vegans object to this objectification of a being, turning a someone into a something so that you can harm them. And the whole other, making them other than. They did that to the Jews in the Nazi Holocaust. They made them other and lesser than, and so that they could do what they did to them. So in order to do that, people otherize, and they objectify. I as a vegan object to objectifying other animals. P is for peace on earth. Vegans are the pioneers of peace on earth. You'll see in my book, it's 125 essays from around the world, from every continent, and you'll have Israel next to Syria and Egypt, and veganism is, when vegans don't get into that nationalistic kind of thing of hate people in other countries. We're getting above that. It's a way of pioneering and ushering in peace on earth, which is so drastically needed. I mean, come on. The violence on this planet is just, it's really unbelievable. And I live an extremely sheltered lifestyle, very remote, and I never watch TV. And so I come here and I'm putting on the TV and I'm watching all these crime shows and I'm like, oh my God, let me leave October 4th and go back and hide out from it, because it's really scary. It's a scary place, planet Earth. And we have to do something about the violence. And like Einstein said, the one thing that will benefit humanity the most is to evolve to a vegetarian diet. Well, I disagree with him. I believe in veganism, not vegetarianism. But what he was trying to say was how it will make people mellow out and veganize, and that's what happens. They have done a study in a prison where they fed prisoners a vegan diet, a plant-based diet, and they all like rehabilitated, you know. And I've seen it with my dogs through the years. They come to me and they've killed an animal, and then I put them on a plant-based diet and I teach them not to kill, and they all veganize. They change, they literally change. We all do. We grow with veganism, and it gives us a better temperament, and it is literally the only hope for creating peace on earth, on this planet. Q is for questioning. Vegans think outside the box. They're questioning kind of folks, and they look around and they see what's normal, and they say, is that really normal? Is it really normal to torture and abuse animals for no reason at all? I think we'll make a new normal. So vegans have questioned the status quo and rejected it. They're not accepting it. And we want to get a lot more people to join, and that is happening. And we want to change the world for the better. R is for respect. I would say most vegans would say that it's the least we can do to show basic minimal respect to other animals. It's a stance of showing respect to animals. That's what veganism is. And S, it's a social justice movement. Now, in the old days, it wasn't a social justice movement. We didn't even know, when I first started, we didn't even know if it would be healthy, if you could survive. It really wasn't a social justice movement then, but it is now. And it's rapidly growing, and it's a social justice movement for anyone who's sentient. S, sentient. Learn that word. It means conscious, perceptually aware. You don't want to die. You want to live. You want to be with your family. You don't want your kids kidnapped from you. You don't want to be tortured and killed. You know, that's what sentience is. It's about being aware, conscious, and feeling. Animals are all sentient. Plants are not. Plants will respond to stimuli, but they don't have a brain. They don't have pain receptors. They don't have a heart, a face, eyes. Animals are quite like us. We are animals, so we should be able to have empathy. And another thing for S is veganism is a solution